Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than I'm pissed that I have to wait to 2019 for Season 3 of Stranger Things. I'm your host, Arris. One of the most requested episodes over the past few months has been Batman vs. Black Panther. Well, you guys must have read our minds because we've had this battle planned for quite a while now. I'll also mention that a few other channels have weighed in on this epic battle in the past as well, most notably being ScrewAttack's Death Battle with this matchup last week, which you can find the link for in the description below. But I've avoided watching any other takes on this battle, so my thought process wouldn't be tainted. And today, it's time to tell you who I think would win and why. With that said, let the battle begin. Like all of our versus battles, I'm going to give you a brief origin of each character before I start diving into what skills each character brings to the fight. And I'm going to kick this off with the King of Wakanda himself, Black Panther. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail on Black Panther's origin because I already summarized his complete history in our History of Black Panther episode, which you can find the link for right here. So this will be the super short and sweet version. Black Panther first appeared in Fantastic Four issue 52 in July of 1966, and he's from the highly advanced nation of Wakanda. When Ulysses Klaue came to Wakanda in search for vibranium, he killed Wakanda's king, T'Chaka. His son T'Challa was able to use Klaue's own sound-based weapon against him, damaging Klaue's hand and forcing him and his men to flee. T'Challa, being the Prince of Wakanda, was next in line to become the new king and Black Panther, but he was still too young, so his uncle took up the mantle in the meantime. However, after years of physical training and studying at the best schools in the US and Europe, T'Challa finally went back to his homeland and defeated the champions of the Wakandan tribe, earning him the right to take the throne and become the new Black Panther. See, I told you, short and sweet, and I'm going to do the same for Batman because let's be honest, whether you're a comic book fan or not, if you don't know Batman's general origin, you've been living under a rock for your entire life. Anyway, Batman first appeared in Detective Comics issue 27 in May of 1939. And one night, while walking down Crime Alley with his parents, his mother and father were murdered in cold blood by a man named Joe Chill. This, of course, sent Bruce down a path of wanting to become something greater, a symbol of justice to ensure that what happened to him could never happen to anyone else. This would lead him to travel around the world for years, learning nearly every form of martial arts on the planet. But it didn't stop there. He also trained his mind and became one of the smartest minds in the entire DC universe. After years of training in every way possible, he would eventually come back to Gotham and take on the symbol of the Bat, to strike fear into anyone who would dare hurt the innocent and corrupt his beloved city. He's the world's greatest detective, but he's also more than that. Say it with me, he is vengeance, he is the knight, he's Batman. Now, with that brief summary of their origins out of the way, let's start talking about what you really came here for, powers and abilities, and how these two stack up against one another. First up is Black Panther. Once T'Challa became chief and king of the Panther clan, he was entitled to eat the sacred Wakandan heart-shaped herb. What does this herb do, you ask? It provides him with super strength, enhanced endurance, reflexes, and senses. What's really cool is that not just any random guy off the street can eat this herb. It can only be digested by Wakandan royalty, and acts as a poison to anyone who is not from the royal bloodline. Black Panther also possesses Black Panther knowledge, which means he has the power to draw on all the strength, knowledge, and experience from every Black Panther before him. T'Challa also has superhuman strength, and his agility is at the peak of human conditioning. The guy has been shown to lift more than 5 tons, and when calling on the strength of his ancestors, his strength level goes far beyond that. Put it this way, he's so strong, he's taken down a rhino and stopped a freaking elephant at full charge. His stamina is insane as well. The man can tolerate large amounts of pain and fight for long periods of time. Again, all thanks to the heart-shaped herb. His healing factor is also enhanced, but don't get it twisted. While it's definitely enhanced beyond that of a normal human, it's nothing like Wolverine, the Hulk, or Deadpool. Along with all that, Black Panther is an extremely fast runner. We're not talking Flash or even Quicksilver speed by any means, but as we've seen in Civil War, he can outrun most cars. Panther also has a genius-level intellect and is highly educated in multiple areas. For instance, he is a master physicist, engineer, and tactician. This dude is so smart and well-trained that he is able to outmaneuver Tony Stark, Reed Richards, and freaking Dr. Doom, some of the smartest minds in all of Marvel. In fact, he ranks top 8 in Marvel as far as knowledge in physics and engineering goes. Now, what about his fighting skills? Well, T'Challa has been groomed to be a warrior since he left his mother's womb and became a master in basically all forms of armed and unarmed combat. His fighting skills are so formidable that he has stalemated and even got the best of characters like Iron Fist, Captain America, and Daredevil in a fight. He's even overpowered Wolverine without much difficulty. He's a master of all known weapons. He's even been seen using Black Knight's ebony blade, which is said to be able to cut through anything. He's a master acrobat, master tactician, master inventor, expert marksman. He speaks multiple languages, and he's extremely wealthy. He's actually been said to be the richest superhero of all time, with an estimated net worth of $90+ trillion if he was real. As for Black Panther's weapons and equipment, his costume has vibranium microweave mesh, meaning anything that hits his costume loses its momentum. So bullets literally just hit him and then fall to the ground. He can even withstand blows from the Hulk because of his costume. On the downside, a knife cut against the grain of his suit could cut through, but he also has vibranium claws, energy daggers that can cut through almost anything, cloaking technology, and an energy shield, which I'm assuming is what he gives Captain America in Infinity War. But let's move on to Batman. Though Batman possesses no superhuman abilities, he is considered by most to be one of the most formidable characters in all of DC. Superman himself, arguably the strongest superhero ever, has even called Batman the most dangerous man on Earth. That right there should get the point across of how incredibly badass Batman is. Batman is quite literally a jack of all trades. He's a master of disguise, stealth, and the second best escape artist in the DC universe, second to only Mr. Miracle. And let's not forget that Batman has trained in every single form of martial arts known to man, which is more than 127 styles to be exact, and that's what makes up his normal fighting style. Although he's always changing his fighting style to stay unpredictable to his opponents. But if that's not impressive enough, he has mastered essentially all forms of weapons. So while he hates using guns, it doesn't mean he doesn't know how to use them. Batman is such a skilled fighter that he surpasses most metahumans. He also knows every single pressure point and nerve in the human body to take someone down, including death touch techniques. Batman could literally kill you with a single touch if he wanted to. To further the point, Batman has fought and beaten several characters that technically he should not even remotely have had a shot against, considering their power level. But again, he's that skilled. Most notably, he's beaten Superman in Batman Endgame with kryptonite gum. Some also count The Dark Knight Returns, even though he had help from Green Arrow and then faked his death before Superman was ready for round 2. Anyway, Batman has even knocked around Darkseid on more than one occasion. Once in Final Crisis when he shot him with a god-killing bullet, and then the other was when he was in his Hellbat armor and quite literally knocked Darkseid on his butt, allowing Batman to save the day. Batman has also defeated the entire Justice League with his Justice Buster armor. Utterly insane. He's even defeated characters outside the DC universe like Spawn, Predator, the Punisher, and even the freaking Incredible Hulk. Again, Batman has a plan and gadget for almost anything you could think of. He's all about planning, and he's all about his toys. As the world's greatest detective, he also has a genius-level intellect, and is actually known as the second smartest human in the DC universe. Number 1 being Lex Luthor. So mix that with his vast amount of gadgets, skills, and billions of dollars, and I'd say Superman is 100% right. He's the most dangerous man on Earth. Now I can keep going on how skilled and crazy talented Batman is. Trust me, I really can. You guys know I'm a massive Batman fan, but I think you guys get the point. So it's time for me to tell you who I think would win. Let me start by saying that this is a very, very close match in my personal opinion. Both have crazy amounts of money, with Black Panther being a trillionaire and Batman being a billionaire. Both know nearly all forms of martial arts known to man, both are extremely intelligent and masters in numerous categories. But in the end, I'm gonna give this one to Black Panther. And now all my fellow Batman fans are like, what? No way. Batman wins easy. And I want to be right there with you because Batman is my favorite superhero, but I can't be biased. So hear me out. This is my reasoning. I think it's safe to say Batman can figure out a way to pretty much beat anyone given time and proper tools. I mean, that's how he invented gadgets and armor to defeat the entire Justice League and Darkseid like I mentioned earlier. However, the key factor here is that he knows these characters already exist, so he has plans and contingencies in place to take them down if need be. So if we're talking about a situation where Batman knew Black Panther existed prior to the fight, Panther would likely have no shot. But for this fight, we have to assume that the two are meeting for the first time, without any prep time, because that's really the only fair way to do this matchup. Because again, Batman plus prep time equals a Batman win basically every time. But if Batman is just cruising down Gotham and gets into it with Black Panther, having never seen this guy before, they'd probably be evenly matched, fighting skills wise, but T'Challa would have the upper hand as far as strength and raw power goes. Black Panther would also have the upper hand with tech. Maybe not so much with gadgets, as Batman has some of the best in all of comics, but I think the key leg up here would be Black Panther's vibranium. I mean, Batman's not going to just have vibranium-piercing batarangs in his utility belt, so everything Batman threw at him would quite literally just fall to the ground. He might be able to pierce through it with some of his gadgets, but not enough to do any real damage, while Black Panther's enhanced strength, mixed with his vibranium claws, would tear right through Batman's normal batsuit. So, like I said, they're both almost evenly matched, but Black Panther's enhanced abilities in vibranium gives him a big upper hand, in my opinion amounting to Batman's defeat. However, I can't stress this enough. Black Panther's victory would likely only happen once, because Batman would invent something or have some sort of contingency in place for a rematch. But as much as it pains me to say, I'm giving this one to Black Panther. Before we get to this week's buy list, we want to tell you guys about the great people at Verve who helped make today's episode possible. We've been telling you guys about Verve for a little while now, but they're an awesome digital platform that gathers channels from a bunch of our favorite content creators and puts them all together in one place. And for a limited time, the team over at Verve, spelled VRV, is offering you guys, the Variant Nation, an exclusive free 30-day ad-free trial of Verve Premium by going to vrv.co/variant or by clicking the link in the description below. That's 30 days to watch a ton of great content, including My Hero Academia Subbed, which we just finished watching with our Variant Live watch-along, and it's one of my new favorite animes. But they also have shows like Dragon Ball Super and exclusive shows like Last Man and Season 4 of Bravest Warriors. Verve also features other great content like Rooster Teeth's Anime Ruby and Attack on Titan Season 2, which we just started watching together on Variant Live, either subbed on the Crunchyroll channel or 100% dubbed in English on the Funimation channel. Verve Premium also gives you guys unlimited access to additional content from channels like Machinima, Cartoon Hangover, Curiosity Stream, and Mubi. All ad-free in 1080p, and as if that's not enough, you could sync episodes ahead of time so you could watch them later. And now you can watch your shows on the go without an internet connection through the Verve app for iOS or Android. You could download the Verve app now on your iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, even your Xbox or PlayStation. So access is crazy convenient. Guys, I'm telling you, we've been using Verve a ton over here and I love it. So don't miss out. Go to vrv.co/variant or click the link in the description and get your free 30-day ad-free trial of Verve Premium now. And when you do, let us know what you're watching so we can check it out. Again, the offer is only for a limited time, so jump on it right away. You'll be glad you did. First up for Wednesday, February 14th, we have Action Comics issue 997. Superman and Booster Gold are stranded in time on a world ruled by not one, but two General Zods. Here we have X-Men Blue issue 21. Vicious space pirates are bad enough, but they're even worse when they're using alien symbiotes as weapons. Do I really have to say more? Now we have Darth Vader issue 11. An expensive bounty has been put on Vader's head. Who would dare try to challenge the Dark Lord's place in the Empire? And finally, we have the Dark Knights Rising: The Wild Hunt issue 1. This is a tie-in issue to the Metal event. If you want to read more about the Dark Knights, I highly recommend you pick this one up. And that's going to bring another episode of Variant to a close, but remember to head over to variantcomics.com to keep up with the show and all things comic related. Also, remember the Verve link to have 30 days of ad-free anime is in the description below. But I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.